Here's your news for November 27, 2019. We're starting off with some news from the building feud between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, as it seems fans shouldn't expect a match between the two. As of this video, there have been no talks between Punk and WWE management about an in-ring return, despite Rollins acknowledging CM Punk chants on the latest episode of Raw and saying that the former world champion is sitting behind a desk in Los Angeles because he's afraid to make changes. This ad-libbed line didn't go down well with Vince McMahon, who was reportedly furious according to Wrestling Observer Radio, as the boss doesn't want to give fans the impression that Punk will wrestle again, and neither he nor Triple H have discussed this with the best in the world. There's a very slim chance that Rollins and McMahon were working folks backstage, but if they were, that means Punk must be in on their plan. The chances of all of this being a work seems very slim indeed, as the Punk comment was edited out of the YouTube video of the town hall meeting where Rollins teased a heel turn by criticizing the Raw roster. Speaking of Raw, Becky Lynch took to Twitter on Tuesday morning to reveal that she has now become the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion. Breaking Ronda Rousey's record of 232 days, the man joked that she was more than happy to be a part of the women's tag team division, as it means fewer singles title matches and thus a longer record. Since capturing the title at WrestleMania, Lynch has defeated everyone put in her way, and rumors persist of the man going for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, possibly with her friend and foe Charlotte Flair. From Raw to NXT now, and the post-Survivor Series edition of the show has had two huge title matches announced. Fresh off a dominant night on pay-per-view for the entire brand, NXT's tag team champions The Undisputed Era will put their titles on the line against Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic on tonight's show. Lee and Dijakovic were a part of Team Ciampa at War Games and defeated The Undisputed Era in the titular match, while Lee was also a part of Team NXT at Survivor Series, last being eliminated by SmackDown's Roman Reigns. Akira Tozawa will also have the chance to regain the NXT Cruiserweight Championship tonight when he takes on Lio Rush during the show. Rush retained the title on the Survivor Series pre-show against both Raw's Tozawa and SmackDown's Kalisto, pinning the latter to win the match. Rush's win was one of the 4 brand versus brand matches that NXT won at Survivor Series, crushing SmackDown, who got 2, and Raw, who got 1. So expect everyone to be in a good mood tonight when NXT airs on the USA Network. After defeating AEW Dynamite in the ratings last week, NXT will be hoping to keep this going, and having 2 huge title matches already announced for the show is certainly effective to get fans to tune in. We've looked at Raw and NXT so far, and now it's time for some SmackDown news, as it seems a new character is on their way to join Bray Wyatt. On Twitter, WWE wardrobe stylist and designer Erica Gimbel posted a video of herself drawing an outfit for a female character and added the text, "Let her in." WWE has also been teasing a new character for the next installment of the Firefly Funhouse for SmackDown, and there have been hints given that this new disciple of The Fiend may be Liv Morgan. On social media, Morgan has teased going in a darker direction when she returns, and this has sparked speculation that the Riot Squad member will be the oft-alluded-to Sister Abigail. Morgan hasn't been seen on WWE TV since July, and after so long away, the pink-haired powerhouse has also promised to be her real self when she returns. Since Wyatt returned as The Fiend at SummerSlam, the crowd have adored the reigning Universal Champion, with many considering him the main reason to watch WWE. Interestingly, much of what fans have seen from Wyatt are his own ideas, and it's clear that The Fiend takes home the prize for Comeback of the Year after resurrecting his career and becoming one of WWE's top stars. Back to Raw now, and it was bad news in the ratings as the show averaged just 2.11 million viewers. The second lowest non-holiday number of the modern era, this week's Raw was down 1% from the prior week, though in a sense, this is worse because of 2 factors. Not only should Raw have gotten a significant bump as being the post-Survivor Series show, but the Baltimore Ravens' blowout win against the Los Angeles Rams, where they won 45-6, led to a 13% decline in viewers for the NFL, many of whom could have come to watch Raw instead. This week's 3-hour show finished 10th overall on cable, but was dominant in the demographics, beating everything but ESPN football in the battle for 18 to 49-year-olds. In this age group, Raw brought in a respectable .71, up from last week's .68. It was the usual pattern for Raw's falling viewers, as the show started with 2.24 million, which fell to 2.19 million in Hour 2, before the sharp decline to 1.9 million in Hour 3. In the demographics from Hour 1 to 3, there was a 15% decline with women 18 to 49, a 22% fall with men of that same age, a 3% drop with teenage girls, 2% with teenage boys, and 14% for fans over 50. The numbers in the arena weren't much better, as WWE had to bring out extra tarps for the show to cover the rows upon rows of empty seats. For this fourth straight WWE Chicago show, it seems fans were exhausted from so much wrestling in such a short period of time, and when you include AEW Dynamite happening from the Sears Center, that was 5 days of wrestling in less than a week. The photos of the empty seats and tarps tell a worrying story about the attendance figures, as while Survivor Series may have been a sellout, fans didn't stick around. Now, WWE owns the ECW library, and it turns out the company may be ready to bring back some of the Extreme Promotions' old pay-per-views. According to the PW Insider, WWE recently filed for a trademark on Barely Legal and CyberSlam, and these two shows could shake up the company's pay-per-view schedule depending on how they're used. The legal documents for the trademark say how the names have been trademarked for use in both wrestling news and broadcast media, including TV and online distribution, adding speculation that the shows will be pay-per-views next year. Both Barely Legal and CyberSlam have a lot of history in the wrestling business, so it'll be interesting to see what McMahon has planned. Back to Raw now, and while Humberto Carrillo has had a nice little push since coming to the Red brand, it seems that these big wins are over for now. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez said how Vince McMahon has run out of patience with Humberto, saying, "Vince is done with Humberto Carrillo for the time being. He's giving him the Cedric Alexander. Like, you're still gonna see him on TV. I'm sure he's gonna win here and there, but, it's exactly like Cedric Alexander. He's got a few weeks. Vince thought he wasn't getting over, so he's done." It's clear that getting attacked before a US title match isn't a good look for Carrillo, and it's a real shame that his push is stalled, but not too surprising when you consider the chairman's track record. We've got some good news now, though, as though a series of poorly timed injuries have kept Alexa Bliss out of action, it seems Nikki Cross is soon getting her partner back. The team of Bliss and Cross have been announced as one of the 8 teams for this Sunday's Starrcade event, where they will hope to regain the women's tag team titles. The odds aren't good for the Kabuki Warriors, who currently hold the gold, as they will face Bliss and Cross, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, as well as Sasha Banks and Bayley in a match brimming with star power. Win or lose, the match can already be considered a victory for Bliss, who is finally able to get back in the ring after so long away. Alexa Bliss may be returning to the ring this Sunday, but she may not be the only superstar planning a comeback, as Tyson Fury has commented about returning to the WWE. Fresh off his crown jewel victory over Braun Strowman, Fury sat down with the True Geordie podcast this week, where he was asked about a potential match against Brock Lesnar. He said, "Yeah, I fancy a fight with Brock for sure. I watched a few of his fights. He's pretty handy, but I can flatten him. In a WWE match or a proper fight, I can flatten Brock Lesnar in 30 seconds. The Gypsy King certainly impressed many backstage with his performance against the Monster Among Men earlier this month, so time will tell whether the undefeated boxing champion will ever go toe-to-toe with the Beast Incarnate, possibly with the WWE Championship on the line. And finally today we're looking back at Raw, and though Seth Rollins started off his heel turn, his old foe Randy Orton pulled off a big babyface move. After Humberto Carrillo was blindsided by the OC before his US title match against AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio got the shot instead, and after an assist by Orton, is now the new US champion. Unsurprisingly, this didn't sit well with the phenomenal former champion, who put out a simple tweet that said, "Randy Orton." As though Mysterio may be the champion, it seems Styles' main issue is with the WWE's resident apex predator. Orton himself weighed in on the situation on Twitter and congratulated Rey on the US title win, but also told him he's welcome. Not only that, Orton also claimed that Mysterio owed him one, as it seems the Viper is much more focused in winning his second US title than dealing with Styles. We'll have to see where this storyline ends up, but it's very likely that a WrestleMania 35 rematch may be around the corner. But what do you think of this feud and Rey's win? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.